All right, let's do this. I just chose the reference picture like a few minutes ago. But it's kind of nice. We're gonna see how this goes. Looks like this. Again, something from probably the 50s or something, the 40s. What color? Let's go with a dark blue. One of the tricks I always use is I try to match my reference, the scale of my reference to the size of my sheet. And I even do that with like larger stuff. And I always try to have the reference like really close to my sheet so I can kind of just like check the scale and directly translate that scale on the sheet. So I don't have like to scale it up in my mind and try to match it. If that makes sense. So let's say if I'm drawing that guy, I can just check here and I know that there's like about ½ inch of space right on top of his head, between his head and the page, so it's pretty easy. And that's pretty much how I sketch the whole thing. Yeah, well, thank you. I mean, it's kind of hard to talk about my process because it's just been like 3 streams. I think I'll get there. And it happens sometimes, by the way, that I just completely mess up the sketch. And that's why I sketch like really like thin, pale lines. And I use a really sharpened pencil at the beginning, so it's not like too big of stripes to erase. And most of the time I don't even erase anything, because we don't see these lines at the end. So I just wanted to mention, at one point, well, for those of you who don't know, I already have a Patreon, and there's a lot of nice stuff on there if you want to check it out. But at one point, I'm gonna start doing like exclusive live streaming on there. But that does not mean I'm gonna stop doing live streams on YouTube. It's just that the stuff that's on there is gonna be more like exclusive, and I'm still gonna do stuff on YouTube, but more occasionally. Because for now, I just like have a smallish audience on Patreon, but I'm barely starting, you know, so when it's gonna grow, it's gonna be worth it to do live streaming on there, but it's not worth it for now. There's a lot of stuff going on in this picture, so I don't know yet what I'm gonna draw. So I'm just putting lines on the paper and figuring it out as I go, I guess. But I really like this lady on the left side, so I'm gonna draw her for sure. Like I said earlier, I really enjoy having the reference as close as possible to my drawing. It just makes things easier. So as you can see right now, I can literally put the iPad on top of my sketchbook, so I can have that guy right next to my sketch. And to me, that just makes sense. And honestly, even at this point, I kind of already know that the drawing is not gonna look absolutely identical to the reference. But I really don't care about that. I just want like the overall look to be similar and the proportions and stuff like that. I really don't know how I came up with that style of hair. But there's really no secret to it. You just have to observe and then just go for it, I guess. At first it's kind of hard to draw with colored pencils because you cannot really erase, but you get used to it. I'm really not sure about this sketch. What do you guys think? You think it will turn out nice or not? Because I have no idea, honestly. You think I'm doing well? I guess we're gonna see at the end. I swear, sometimes I start drawings like that and it just turns out like a mess. especially when there's like a couple of different characters like that. You can work on one for like 30 minutes and then you mess up the one right next to it. That sucks, but it happens, I guess. The chin looks fat. You mean it looks like too large right here or too deep? Well, I kind of agree with you. But again, that the whole point is not to like copy exactly the reference. But it's still a good practice to try to match as close as possible. Even the nose doesn't really match. It's too large, yeah. Yeah, it is too large. You know, we're gonna see how, if I try to rework it or not at the end. Yeah, exactly. But if you check, for example, the stream I did, I think it was 3 days ago or something like that, and you put it right next to my Instagram post, you can really see how it does not look like the picture at all, but it still looks cool. I think, actually. But the point of these sketches is, in fact, to, well, it's to have fun, obviously, but it's to improve your instincts, your drawing instincts, and your observation for when you do real important stuff, let's say. By the way, if you're not like sketching already, you're missing out. If you don't have a sketchbook and you don't sketch every few days at least, I really recommend it. Because we don't have always the time to take out the complex art stuff like the paints and paint brushes and stuff like that. So a simple sketchbook is always nice to have. It's quick. I did took some classes at university with live models. That was amazing. That was super cool, but it's a whole other technique. It's so hard because when you're drawing live models, you cannot really have the reference right next to your sheet. So it's really a challenge. But I really prefer photos. Yeah. But for bigger pieces, I edit a lot of the photos I use with Photoshop, so I kind of create my own references before starting out. So I play with the composition and, you know, I just don't want to just literally copy the reference. I mainly draw people, but the next charcoal drawing I have planned up is in fact a still life in itself, so you're gonna see probably next weekend something about that. I don't know if you can hear that, but my pencil keeps breaking off, which can do fun stuff sometimes, but not always. Yeah, exactly. That was what I was trying to do, like capture the idea, and I'm really looking to recreate the emotions. That's the really big thing for me. I used to draw kind of hyper-realistic stuff, but that's the reason why I stopped. It was because, I mean, a nice hyper-realistic drawing is just realistic, you know, it's not really emotional. You're just copying something, and don't get me wrong, like that's a really perfect way to learn proportions and stuff and to practice. But at the end, you want something more. You want people to look at your stuff and feel something, right? So that even applies to sketches, I think. If you want a cool example of another artist that really transforms a reference, you can check out Anna Park with a K on Instagram. She does these crazy charcoal drawings. I can write it in the chat. So yeah, she's crazy, man. She's the best. And the reason why I know she uses photo references is because I randomly found some of her references, and I was like, oh my god, I know that picture from somewhere, but it was not like perfectly the same. But then I went back to her page and I just discovered it was something that she drew, but completely transformed, which is insane. Yeah, like her most recent stuff is really leaning into the abstract stuff. But if you go back at her first post, you can see how she started from something a bit more realistic, but still it was something transformed. So yeah, if you can just scroll down her posts, you're gonna see what I mean. But her more recent stuff is insane. I love it so much. She has her own style. I mean, no one does it like her. And charcoal artists are kind of rare. Let me know if you guys know cool charcoal artists. All right, I'll check them out after this. Thanks. Zoo videos, what is that? Is it an animation or? Sketches from zoos and tries to get the gesture before the animal moves. Oh, damn. Yeah, I mean, there is a bit of luck involved in that, but that'd be cool to try. Yeah, I'll check him out. Nice. But sometimes during the summer, I go in parks and just sketch some stuff. Trees and waterfronts and things like that, but nothing too serious. I'm still super unsure about this thing. I have a good camera and a nice tripod, so I take photos of my drawing. I just make sure I take the photos with indirect natural light. I'm probably gonna do an in-depth article, process article about that on Patreon. But I do have my kind of my own presets for the camera. Did a bit of a hack. I took a screenshot like halfway swiping. Oh god, just to get that face closer to the right. You gotta do what you gotta do. I'm gonna come back to her later, I'm not sure yet. This is risky right there. Going all the way dark. I don't know if it's one of you guys, but someone asked me the other day, like, how to create a mood in my drawings. And I told you maybe focus on the main characters and that much on the rest, well, that's exactly what I'm doing right now. This character right there doesn't need to be as detailed as those two people. And that will even create an effect of focus. Like when you take a picture, for example, you focus on what's in the front. So if you draw this character blurry and not really detailed, it kind of makes sense. So that's what I'm gonna try to do, and I'm not even gonna sharpen my pencil, probably. Not a lot, at least. But to come back to your comment about the photos, I always wondered if it would look nicer to scan my stuff. But I still think it looks nice right now on Instagram. I'm satisfied. It's just harder for bigger pieces to take photos because my lens is a 35 millimeter and it kind of distorts on the edges, if you know what I mean. It kind of warps the edges like that. So you need to Photoshop and kind of try to make up for it in post-prod, but it still works. And warming up is a really good tip. So drawing this character right now is way easier than drawing this guy at the beginning because I'm warmed up and I loosen up. So that's a good tip. When you're trying to do something nice, don't start right away with the final piece. I think she looks cool like that. But really, to take nice pictures of your stuff, you really need to be patient. That's the key. So if you're trying to take a picture with artificial light or bad lighting, you're done. That's it. Like, it's not gonna look nice. Don't take photos of your stuff at night unless you have professional equipment and daylight bulbs, you know, the bulbs that light almost like a blue light that looks like the natural light. But the best tip is to wait until the day and be patient. Wait the next day and take your photo and you're gonna be satisfied. I forgot about that dude on the back. See the amount of detail I'm putting? It's literally nothing. It's just a blur. Yeah, me too, but this guy on the back, I saw at the beginning and I was like, I have to draw this dude. It looks cool. But that lady looks actually nicer in the composition. So I might draw her like a bit darker than this guy. Just to have some kind of flow like that to the left. That could be cool. Just shapes like that. Yeah, this girl really has a chunky jaw. Like when you have your wisdom teeth removed. Oh god. But again, if you don't have the picture right next to it, it's not that bad. think I'm gonna add something else. Then that's it. Just a bit of line work on the left. Just some rough shadow like that. I don't know if you can see that, but you're gonna see it in the photo tomorrow. Yeah, I guess that's it. This is definitely not my favorite, let's be honest. But I got the daily practice in. So yeah, I guess that's good. And at this point, if I just keep working on it, it's gonna look overworked and not nice at all. All right, so thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye.